Have you ever felt like you haven't accomplished much in life? Maybe you work what feels like a dead-end job. Maybe you struggle financially. Maybe you live in a small home or feel like your life doesn't look impressive compared to others. And if we're honest, the world constantly tells us that success equals money, fame, influence, or achievements. But God measures success very differently. In Mark chapter 12, Jesus watched people giving offerings at the temple. Wealthy people came and gave large amounts of money. From a worldly perspective, they looked generous and impressive. But then, a poor widow walked up and dropped in 2 small coins, an amount so tiny it was almost worthless in human eyes. And Jesus said something shocking. He said that widow gave more than all the rich people combined, not because of the amount, but because of her heart. She gave out of sacrifice. She gave out of trust. She gave everything she had. This shows us something powerful. God does not see as man sees. Man looks at outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. Think about some other people God used. David was just a forgotten shepherd boy before becoming king. The boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish only had a small lunch, yet God used it to feed thousands. Many of Jesus' disciples were simple fishermen and ordinary workers. By the world's standards, they weren't impressive. But in God's kingdom, faithfulness matters more than fame. Maybe you feel unseen. Maybe you feel ordinary. Maybe you feel like your life hasn't made a big impact. But God sees every quiet act of obedience, every prayer, every sacrifice, every moment you choose to follow Him when nobody else notices. In God's eyes, faithfulness in small things is never small. So if you feel like your life doesn't look successful, remember this: you don't have to impress the world to be deeply valuable to God.